Sonoma County is well known as a wine and food destination around the world. From the outside looking in, our food is thought to be dominated by sustainable and organic ingredients prepared by renowned chefs. However, that is not the reality for much of our community. Welcome to Community Health Connections. My name is Oscar Chavez. In this episode, we'll take a look at our food system, where our food comes from, where it ends up, and what happens in between. Through the collaboration of many different people and organizations, Sonoma County is working to build a strong, healthy, and sustainable food system for generations to come.
The number one thing that I think that can really transform the way we relate to food is to get people out on the farm. You know, that's where you learn about the struggles of what it's like to be a family farmer, and that's where you learn about the opportunities of getting your family and your friends out into the dirt, harvesting your own produce, meeting the farmer, really developing that trust in the source of your food.
150 years ago, nobody would have thought about a good life that didn't involve a garden, because you couldn't have it, right? If you wanted to eat good food, you grew it yourself. And slowly but surely, as we've become more busy in our lives, you know, it's natural, it's harder for all of us to take the time to do gardens.
Gardening with children is essential. To make a change, to create change in our food system and in our overall health and well-being and community, we have to start with the children young.
The soil feels good. This one's
The youngsters, if they put the seed in the soil and they water it and love it and grow it and eat it, they will eat that food forever. But it's very, very important for us to create change and to move further in this movement is to get the gardens in the schools going.
We can try new things that we think, oh, I'm gonna hate this because it's vegetables. And then when you try it, you think, wow, I think this is really good. I'm gonna try to buy this at farmer's market if I can.
Right now we've got over half the small farms in California. Guess what? They're losing money. It's really hard to remain economically viable as a farm.
I mean, there's a ton of stuff that puts a lot of pressure on this farm and dairymen in general. 10, 15 years ago, most of this ground was open on this farm and our neighbors' farms too. Now the vineyards have moved in. We've got urban sprawl. So land that was available even a few years ago is being sucked up.
There's land available that's not being used to its best purpose. And sometimes it's just people's backyards. There are a lot of perks to having a farm in your backyard. You're doing it because you want access to fresh local food. You want it because you want your children to live in a world where the food system is not controlled by a few corporate enterprises based hundreds, if not thousands of miles away. If you do have land, get in touch with me. I can find you a farmer. A strapping young farmer would be more than happy to grow food for you.
Having a farm, in our case, is like having one business. Having the creamery is almost like another business. The whole marketing aspect is almost like a third business. So there's a lot of facets to any farm on any scale, things you need to learn about before you buy that piece of land you've been dreaming of.
So the Food Systems Alliance has put together what it calls a food action plan. And this food action plan has 4 primary goals. One of these is to assure our long-term ability to continue to grow food in our county. There are things having to do with the economic survivability of our farms, on preserving our actual agricultural land, everything to do with sort of the first floor, if you would, of a food system.
The average age of the American farmer is about 58 and climbing. So for us, a bunch of kids in our 20s, it kind of felt like we were the only ones under the age of 58 doing it. So one of the coolest things about the Farmers Guild was that all we did was get around a table, have some food, have a few beers, and little by little people started talking to each other, saying, if I could just find someone or a few people to come help me harvest blueberries, then when my blueberry season is over, I'm gonna have a lot of free time. People started collaborating in ways that really worked out for both just sharing the resources and skills, but also just from a market standpoint, what would have cost you thousands of dollars costs you a day and a favor. And you can't do it on your own. You just can't do it.
Our communities need to continue to come together more. We've become as a society, more distanced from where our food comes from.
If we concentrate on creating more opportunities to buy and grow local food, we can build a virtuous cycle of people growing and producing good food, being paid for that from money that we earn in the community, and having that go through the community over and over.
100 years ago, you went out to your local community and there was a few different stores, a few different butcher shops, maybe a grocery store, and you chose which one you wanted to sell to. And nowadays, those distribution companies have all been bought out, and when your choices are 3 corporations that are probably working together anyway to determine how much you can sell that product for, you're at the whims of a system that is so far beyond you.
Economic vitality and a set of policies that make it a great place to be a farm-to-fork community is a core goal.
We need to be buying locally and we need to be supporting our local producers. And that's a big part of developing a healthy, local, resilient food system.
There's not a lot of factory type stuff going on here. I know every cow here. I'm always here. I think buying from smaller farms and places like Clover, you're guaranteeing you're supporting something that's local, not something where you just go to the store. You don't know where it came from. You just think it came from a supermarket.
Our products are probably not the cheapest on the market. They're probably a little bit more expensive. But if you look at the system that Clover supports and how it keeps agriculture alive in Sonoma County, you're supporting so much more than just buying a half gallon of milk.
Every dollar you spend at the supermarket, at the cheese shop, wherever, that's a vote. So support those local businesses that you love, because more often than not, they're small farms, they're doing right by the land and the animals, hopefully, and your money is staying local.
Thank you for watching this episode of Community Health Connections. To see past episodes and to learn more about this program, visit krcb.org/health.